Hello, everybody. My name's Jim, and this is a spoiler free review of Jack and Jill by Kealan Patrick Burke. So, Reading This Life recently posted a video where she asked whether or not the size of a book matters when you are trying to hit weekly, monthly, yearly goals. And of course, I am in the camp of no. I don't think it does matter, especially if you read some of the books that I've read in the past year. Like, I read Pachinko, I read Unfollow. Both of those novels were thick and very heavy in their content matter. So between books like that, I have to read something short. I have to read something that's more in the basket of fun. And, while Jack and Jill was very short, I do think that it covered subject matter that was a bit heavy. Content warning: this book does cover CA a lot. C as in cat, A as in apple. Do your best to understand what that means. I don't want YouTube to yell at me before I'm even monetized. But yeah, this novella is pretty much all about that and the effects of it. We have our main character Jillian, who has these recurring dreams of her past CA from her father, and her brother is also included in the dreams. And they are these warped, like, horrifying. And I mean, if you've ever really had a nightmare or even dreams, like, you are in a location, you see the people, you kind of recognize who they are, but they're so warped and distorted that if you were just able to step back a little bit, you would realize that you were in a dream world. But sometimes those dreams are just so vivid anyway that you kind of can't separate that from reality. You just think that you're completely immersed in that dream. And I feel like that is the problem with Jillian here, is because she has conversations with her brother in these dreams. She interacts with her dad in these dreams, and her dad is like shaped the distortion of her father is like this man with coat hangers for fingers, and it's just so she has these recurring dreams, and actually, I think the novella even begins with one of these dreams. And I know that sometimes that's a turnoff for people, but I think it's more of an issue if it's just like, oh, this is a dream, this didn't really happen, haha, fooled you, sort of thing. But in this novella, the dreams start to weave in and out and affect Jillian's real life. She has a family at this point. She has a husband, she has a son and a daughter, and she is trying to navigate her real life while still dealing with her childhood trauma. And despite the behest of her husband specifically telling her that she needs to get help, she doesn't seek professional help for her recurring nightmares. And as a result of that, it piles on and continues to affect her mood, how her family responds and reacts to her. There are situations in the novella where she really needs to be present and aware of certain things that are going on, particularly with her oldest, who is her daughter, because she's going through things as a teenage girl does. You just realize that Jillian has that sort of separation when it comes to her own family. There are some parts, that are really cute. Like, she has some scenes with her son specifically that are really cute, but otherwise she is very detached because of this past trauma that she's still working through. And throughout the novel, I didn't, despite knowing what had happened to her, I didn't really see Jillian as someone who I would root for necessarily. I feel like a lot of this has been built up over time, so it did seem a bit interesting to me that it had gotten to this point and that she still had a family who supported her, even though this has racked her brain since childhood, literally. So what got me, and why I rated it 3 stars. Maybe I shouldn't have rated this novella 3 stars just because I was mind bent at the end, to put it lightly. I just don't know what to think about the ending. Maybe I just need to re-rate it and rate it maybe 1 star higher, because in a way, I'm not going to go into any spoilers with the ending because it is a plot twist and you guys just need to read the novella. But in a way, I don't think things were the way she thought, if that makes sense, just because of how her dreams and real life were starting to blend together and blur the lines. And I feel like she was taking her dreams and applying them to reality, and because she never really sought help, as far as we know, before this novella even began, it seems like it was at a place in the very beginning where things were already too far gone. Just a yes or no. Do not go into detail if you've read this book already. Just yes or no. Ending. Justified or not? Leave a comment. Like I said, don't go into detail with why you answered it the way you did. Just say yes or no. For the rest of you who have not read this novella, there's a link in the description of this video that you can click. It'll take you to the Goodreads page where you can search for your retailer of choice and purchase the novella from there. Once you've done that, then you also put yes or no in the comments, because I want to know, and I need to go back and just rate this 1 tick higher, because I do feel like Burke intentionally made it so you were confused throughout the whole novella. So, like with most 3-star novels and novellas that I read or have read, I do intend to go back through and maybe answer those questions that I had before. So I might just reread Jack and Jill. It's a very short book. Like I said, it's like, so I have the paperback, and it is 96 pages of, actual story. And then I think there are 2 more about the author. So yeah, it's super short. It is a novella. And I think it certainly does matter if you're trying to reach your reading goals. So if you want to read a short one, then read this, answer yes or no in the comments. But yeah, I think that's it, without rambling on any further and giving any more of this book away. So I've been Jim. You've been great. Happy reading.